He woke up on the kitchen floor again, cold linoleum against his cheek, smell of cold coffee and cat litter, light buzzing somewhere above him, trying to stay alive. Georgie didn't move at first. He waited for the world to decide what version it was going to be today. The buzzing settled into a cheap fluorescent strip over the sink. It flickered twice, like it was rehearsing a seizure, then held steady. His head felt full of wet sand, tongue metal, knees aching in the way that didn't belong to his age yet. Dottie sat up on the counter, staring down at him like he'd interrupted something important. Her tail flicked once, judging. "Okay," he said, or tried to. It came out as air first, then sound. "Okay, that sucked." The words bounced wrong inside his skull, echoed, then caught. He pushed himself up to his elbows. The motion had made the world tilt, then snap back. The microwave clock said 3:07. The stove clock said 2:41. The one on the wall over the little table had stopped at 12:19 3 weeks ago and never picked a side. His right shoe let out a tired flop when he shifted his leg. The sole was half off again. He noticed it the way you notice a fly in the room. Annoyance, not surprise. He checked his hands first. Fingers, all there. No burns, no new scars. The skin on his knuckles was dry and cracked, like he had been gripping something too hard for too long. "Dottie?" The cat's ears flicked, but she didn't move. She had that look she got after a jump, pupils too wide, whiskers leaning forward like she was still seeing something behind him. "How bad?" he asked. Dottie meowed, short and flat, not helpful. He sat up all the way. That was when he saw the chair. The chair wasn't special. Cheap pressed wood from some flat-packed furniture place. One leg always a little shorter than the others. It sat tucked under the small kitchen table, angled just enough that he could sit and stare at the half window and pretend it was a view. What mattered wasn't the chair. What mattered what wasn't on it. The jacket. His jacket was supposed to be there. The dark blue one with the ripped cuff and the fraying lining and the broken zipper that never quite met in the middle. It had lived on that chair for months, sometimes on the back, sometimes slumped across the seat, sometimes half on the floor. Always there. The chair was bare. Georgie blinked. Once, twice. The chair stayed bare. His heart didn't sprint. It just took one slow step. He pushed himself to his feet. The flapping shoe slapped the floor. His left knee argued. He grabbed the edge of the counter until the room stopped tilting. The jacket was gone. "Okay," he said again. "Okay, so that's different." He checked the obvious places first. Floor, hook behind the door, closet, no jacket. His brain tried to slide away from the obvious. "Maybe you finally did laundry." He snorted at himself. He had not done laundry. There was a hamper in the bathroom that said so, loudly. He looked back at the naked chair, the space where the jacket should be left louder than the buzzing light. Dottie made a sound, not quite a meow, more like a question mark. "Don't look at me like that," he said. "You were there. Were you?" He realized that he hadn't remembered the last few minutes before the jump, not clearly. Just the feeling of being pushed too hard inside his own skull. A decision made fast and angry. Dottie's fur in his hand. Her heart beat under his fingers. Then nothing. He rubbed at his temples with the heel of his hand, felt the pulse there, thudding, slow, a beat behind where it should be. The notebook was on the table. Cheap plastic cover, cloudy from scratches. It had started life clear. Now it had the milky look of an old Tupperware. The edges were chewed when he'd gnawed on them during bad nights. A pen lay on top, uncapped. A small star of ink had bled into the laminate. He picked it up. The plastic flexed under his fingers. Familiar. Too light.